Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to be talking about some PC parts from AliExpress. Might be the first place you think of when it comes to getting yourself some new hardware, but it can be a good place to save yourself a considerable amount of money. They emailed me offering me a range of different products, and I picked out a combo deal for a motherboard and a processor. Today I'm going to be going over what you actually get with the package, kind of the delivery time, how long it takes to actually get your products delivered, and just kind of the overall shopping experience, and to give you some advice if it might be something you want to use to get yourself some new components. So my pick from AliExpress was a combo of the MSI B550M Mortar Wi-Fi motherboard, along with an AMD Ryzen 5 5600G. So the price for this combo on Amazon at the time of recording is $545. So for $404 with free shipping, you can save yourself a considerable amount of money. Now, there are some caveats regarding AliExpress, as I will point out, and you will probably be able to see. This is Chinese writing. Now, MicroStar International are a Taiwanese company, and they are made in China. So obviously it's literally straight from China, rather than being printed in English and then sent out from, whatever region you're in. Now, there are a few bits of wear on the box as well, but it did come in an outer brown box. This wasn't literally sent like this. And then the processor was actually inside the motherboard box. It's not loose and rattling about. Other things to note, this took 11 days for me from China to the UK with the standard free option. So if you're prepared to wait, you can save yourself quite a lot of money. And as you can see, the processor just came as is. It was bubble wrapped in the box, so it was protected well, but it's not a retail box with a cooler, so you will need to add that onto your list of bits you need. If you're going to go for a stock cooler, the AMD Spire coolers or the Wraith are like $20 new. You can get them for $10 used on the marketplace, so it's really not that big of a deal. I also did get a little tube of thermal paste inside the box, or thermal grease as they called it, but I'm going to be using Noctua because it's what I always test with. Then last but not least, you do need to get yourself a battery because they ship these without batteries. If you've ever sent anything anywhere, they'll ask you what's in the box.
What's in the box?
If there's a battery included, it's going to cost a lot more to ship it. So that's why it comes without the battery. So let's get into the box. Now, you should expect a pretty standard retail experience, minus a few changes because obviously language differences. So we're going to find our driver disc. I don't know why they still include these. We've got some information about the product. This is actually in English, and then the reward program slip is in English as well. Quick installation guide is not in English, although it seems to have one of those. Yeah, it's multi-language, so that's quite good. We've got our M.2 screws, 3 of those in there. Looks like a warranty kind of guide, some kind of checklist, and then obviously our manual, which is always multilingual anyway. Oh, we've also got a case badge. We've also got our Wi-Fi antennas, as this is the Wi-Fi motherboard edition. And then there's 2 SATA cables, one of which is right angled. And then take a look at the motherboard. So that is our B550 mortar board. I need to put the battery into there. Now, one little thing that didn't make too much sense with this combo is the fact that the 5600G doesn't have any Gen 4 support. So if you're going to be using a Gen 4 drive, you're not going to get the throughput that you would if you were to use something like the 5600X. Now, of course, one thing you could do is upgrade your processor down the line to maybe something like a 5800X, something that supports Gen 4, and then you could actually make use of the Lightning Gen M.2 NVMe slots that are on this board. But if you're going to be using this, then you're just going to get Gen 3, so something to bear in mind. I did cover that over in my APU build as well. I used the 5600G for that, and I used the B450, which can save you some money. But as far as I could tell, I couldn't find any 5600G processors with B450 boards. So, there's some pros and cons with getting it in a combo like this. So looking at the motherboard in a bit more detail, it looks like they've printed everything in English. So I'm going to assume that they just print it in English and just send it everywhere with different language boxes. I don't think there's any differences on this whatsoever to what I would expect from getting a UK or US retail board. So minus the box, everything seems to be pretty much standard. So here we've got our Gen 4 drive slot where we're going to put our NVMe. I'm actually going to be using a Gen 3 drive because I tested the 5600G with a Gen 3 drive, so I want to keep it the same just to see if we're going to get the same performance as what we should expect. We've got a USB-C front I/O port, which is nice to see. Nice heat sinks over the VRMs that also goes back to the I/O. We've got our display port and HDMI, which would be perfect for the 5600G. Flash BIOS will go in this specific USB port here. We've got a PS2 port for legacy if you fancy using that, or maybe you're overclocking, it's always more reliable. USB 3 ports, we've got another USB 3 there, and then also a Type-C. 2.5G Ethernet, which is nice. This is where we're going to put our wireless antennas on, and then we've got our nice audio options. So I think all we can really do now is get it onto the test bench and see if it performs as it should. Okay, so everything is the same as I used when I originally tested the 5600G from AMD. So it used the Steel Legend B550 motherboard, but obviously this is MSI. The RAM's still the same, the NVMe is still the same, cooler and the thermal paste is still the same. So let's see if it boots. I did add the battery in as well. I did forget that first time round. Ta-da! So there we go. So let's see if it's all detected. We've got B550M more to Wi-Fi, 5600G Radeon graphics, 16 gig of RAM. So we've set our XMP. And fingers crossed, it should go straight to Windows. So I set it to 1080p, which is what the 5600G is really all about. You can't do anything 1440p, it's just too demanding. So that's going to start running on TimeSpy, and we're looking for about 1500 total score with about 1300 on the processor only. So let's see how we get on. So the TimeSpy benchmark is done, and I brought the results up on the phone that I got with the original sample I had from AMD. We got a result for this one for 1543 overall, with a graphics score of 1356. The original sample I tested, the overall was 1546. So this is 3 points less, and the graphics score was 1359. So this is again 3 points less. That is ridiculously close, but we can safely say everything is as we expected and running well. I did kind of expect that, you know, they are genuine samples. It's not like you're getting a knockoff product from Wish, but very pleased to see that it is all running as it should. Obviously it's come quite a long way from China as well. I spent 11 days in transit, so it's nice to see that we've not got any problems right out the gate as well. Stay tuned as well, because we'll be doing a more premium build with the 5600G. I did a budget offering with the original video, but I did want to do a bit more of a premium build. For those of you that want, you know, to upgrade to a graphics card later on, but you want a bit of higher end stuff, which will then hopefully match the graphics card you put in, rather than having a budget system with a higher end card. So kind of balance it out a little bit more. But as for this video, everything is well, and I hope this video was enjoyable for you guys as well. So big thank you to AliExpress for sending out these products for me to have a look at. Really happy with the results, and stay tuned for some more future content. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and ding the bell so you didn't miss a video. I'll put the links for this stuff down in the description box below if you fancy picking anything up. I think personally the saving of $140 is pretty good for a little bit longer of a wait. So maybe consider this if you're looking to get any new bits. So thank you all for watching, guys. Thank you to AliExpress, and we'll see you all in the next one.